Hello, Melrose. It is Mayor Paul Brodeur coming to you from the Victorian Fair. Going to check out a few booths today, starting with the Melrose League Women Voters. How are we today?
Starting with us.
Indeed.
It may have to do with the fact that you're right beside us.
It might.
It's
It
just
might.
Like, here's the mic, go around that.
So it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
There's a lot of changes to voting.
Yes, there is.
What's going on? Tell us why
Well,
people should stop
we
by.
have to have everyone registered to vote, either online or in person. And then what's the other way? Anyways, it's October 29th.
That's the deadline.
And then the election itself is November the 8th. And you have to have, if you do mail in, which we have here, you have to get a mail-in application if you haven't gotten it already for the primary. But that has to be in 4 days before they ask for the election, the mail-in. They want you to get it in. If not, put your mail-in in between the city hall and the post office. They have a particular box just for mail-in.
So the safest thing, though, people can do is you can check today at wheredoivote.com, the Secretary of State's mass.com, Secretary of State's website. If you're not registered, you can register online, and you can request a ballot. So if you take care of it now, make your plan today
That's right.
to vote, you'll be all set in November.
That's right. And remember, Melrose has changed its polling location. We're all in one spot. I'm sure you've mentioned that already.
Not yet, but that is the Melrose Veterans Memorial Middle School.
Yeah.
Terrific, convenient. If you're going to vote in person, it's the way to go.
All right, and there's another thing I wanted to proselytize, is we have this Vote 411, it's called, .org. And what you have, no, not that. Sorry. So see this here, okay? And so vote411.org, and what you do is you get little biographies, and then they ask questions of the candidates, and you can actually bring them up and compare at least two candidates and things like that. So it's a wonderful resource. You just type in your address, and it gives you all the people on the ballot.
Terrific. So that's it. Basic message. Register to vote. Make a plan to vote. Exercise your civic duty. You good?
Okay.
Awesome. Next booth up is the Melrose GSA. Excited to have them here at the Victorian Fair. First, what is the GSA?
We are the Gender Sexuality Alliance, so kind of like your gay pride group and like that spot for like all the kids who need a place to go, that place to go.
Is this your first time with a presence at the fair?
Yeah, it's our first year.
What prompted you to do it?
Someone said it in a meeting, and then we were like, someone had the idea, and we're like, you know what? We can make it happen.
Terrific. And if students or other members of the community want to get involved, what do they do?
Well, we have,
One of
yeah,
us. We have
contact
a
one of
QR
us.
code.
We
If
have a
anybody
QR
would
code.
like to stay updated, sorry, it's taped down.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to stay updated on any of our events, fundraisers, and stuff like that, getting in contact with us or Miss Gillette. Sorry, get in contact with us or Miss Gillette. She's our advisor. And we'll have a booth at the club fair at the Melrose High School as well. And we haven't decided on meeting days yet, so if you have any input on that, we'll be deciding on that based on majority, so we can have as many people as possible to attend.
It is terrific. It's terrific that you're here and doing this. Ms. Gillette, thank you for your support. And anything you need from the mayor's office, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, good to see you. Back at the Victorian Fair, talking to Jane. Jane, what are you doing here today?
Well, we have 4 anti-racism groups that are sharing this table today, all working in Melrose. We have Fighting for Black Lives in Our Neighborhood. We are working for reparations for Melrose. By the way, I meant to mention that to you. Alternatives to policing and developing an anti-racist city budget. And we also have at the table Friends of Melrose Metco. They are working with the Metco program, and Alex Bennett can tell you more about that in a minute. We have Melrose Racial Justice Community Coalition, which I think you know. Yep. And we have the White People Challenging Racism Moving from Talk to Action workshop, which is a workshop to help white people figure out what they can do to dismantle systemic racism within their own sphere of influence.
A lot of moving parts and a lot of different opportunities. What's the best way for someone who's trying to figure it out try to figure out what's the best way for them to plug in.
I love that. Well, one of the great things about us sharing the table is that we have something for everybody. So we have groups that are working with the city for change, and we have groups that are holding the city accountable for change. So no matter who you are, your level of rebelliousness, we have something for you. We also need people with a wide variety of different skills. So like if you're a data analyst, we need you to help us analyze data. If you're a communicator, we need people to be out in the community getting our message out. No matter what it is, you want to be behind the scenes, in front, you know, we need you. So you can come down here to our table and you can sign up, we'll send you information, or you can write to me. And my email address is janeappleyardallen@gmail.com, and I will connect you. I know, it's pretty long. janeappleyardallen@gmail.com. And if you email me, I will connect you with any or all of these groups.
Terrific. All right, let's take a quick second with Alex to talk about Friends of Melrose Metco. First, I think everyone knows, but what is Metco?
So METCO is a voluntary desegregation program that brings kids of color from Boston out to suburban schools. I think there are over 50 schools, suburban schools that take part in it. So kids come from kindergarten through 12th grade to have their entire schooling in Melrose.
And when you talk about support, like what do the Friends do? Why does the Metco program need Friends?
Aha. Well, it's hard. It's really hard to be a black kid in Melrose and go to school here when you don't live here. And so we do everything we can to sort of make them feel more at home, to troubleshoot when that's an issue, and to bring Melrose families and Boston families together.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that work. And same, if they text Jane,
Yep.
they'll find their way to you, right?
Yep. And we have a Facebook page, and it's a good place to find us.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you for being here today.
Sure.
All right. Bye bye. So we're here with one of my favorite businesses here in Melrose, one of the most interesting and innovative businesses here in Melrose, Yera Chocolate. They bravely started out really during the pandemic, and I'm happy to say that they're still standing there and going strong. How is it going? And tell me about your booth.
It's very good today.
Good.
Yeah, we have
Good.
a lot of customers.
What kind of stuff can folks expect to find at the booth? What kinds of products?
We have a lot of gelato and homemade stuff that we make, like the macaroons, and then we have cake pops, and we have a bunch of candy. Like
It's the season for the caramel apple too, the fudge. Yeah, the baklava is new in our store, pistachio and walnut baklava.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. There's always something new coming. Folks, I mean, it's Yera Chocolate, but there's really an amazing array of products that you can find here at the fair or at their store right on West Emmons Street. I hope you'll check it out. So a fairly new development in the history of the city of Melrose is the establishment of a commission on disability. It's probably been 3 years now, I want to say, of some real incredible work. One thing I want to try to get an update on is our community survey that we're doing to assess conditions for folks living with disabilities in the community. Who wants to talk about that? Gavin, you're up. Garen,
yes, no worries. Hi, we have been trying to assess, what the community, the disability community is like in Melrose. Over the last few years, being that we haven't been able to be out and about with the pandemic, we are looking to kind of use an event as an opportunity to pull people out and then assess what kind of population we do have in Melrose for disabled people.
It's terrific work and it's important work. And folks should know it's very long range work, right? First step is identifying what the deficiencies are and then kind of rank ordering them and figure out what are the most important things to address first. Judy, you I think are the newest member of the commission. We're delighted to have you. Tell me how it's going.
It's going great, Mr. Mayor. We're doing good. We're meeting a lot of people, and we're trying to hear people's issues and take care of them. We're also trying to get events together so that people don't feel so isolated. So
That is true. That's so important. I mean, we saw it in spades with the pandemic that, it's challenging enough during normal times, and the work you're doing is going to make a big difference for folks. I see you got some folks signed up to get more info. That is terrific. Thank you for the terrific work you're doing. It wouldn't be the Victorian Fair if it didn't have politicians, including yours truly, walking the fair, saying hello, connecting, and reconnecting with the people of Melrose. I have here my good friend and former legislative partner, Jason Lewis, our state senator. Jason, how's it going today?
It's a great day, Mr. Mayor. Look how many people are out enjoying themselves, so many families, young children. Congratulations to you and to all the city staff and volunteers and the chamber, everybody who makes this great day possible. We appreciate it.
A lot going on this election season. Most importantly, you're on the ballot. So for folks that want to hear maybe like a 15 or 30 second pitch, what's going on, and probably most importantly, if they want to help, how do they get involved?
Absolutely. I am excited to be running for re-election this year to the state senate. I have the privilege of representing Melrose and several other communities. I chair the education committee, and I'm proud of having passed the Student Opportunity Act and other pieces of legislation, and I'm hopeful to be able to continue doing this important work on behalf of our communities.
We certainly appreciate the constituent service and really the policy work. Is that we're getting, for an experienced senator, we get the best of both worlds. So delighted you're running for election, and we will see you around the trail.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your service as mayor of Melrose.
Thank
we
you.
Really appreciate it.
Working our way down Main Street, delighted to stop in and say hello to our friends at the Melrose Human Rights Commission. Particularly over the last 2 or 3 or several years, been a lot of issues that have been not just government issues, but community issues related to human rights, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the Human Rights Commission has been a tremendous partner for the city. I'm going to say hello to a couple of the members, starting with Joe. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Good. What are you doing here?
Well, today what we're doing is that we're getting the word out about the commission, the work that we're doing in the community, and how we're trying to bring together everybody in the community. We've got a little arts and crafts project and some coloring for the children, magnets, and diversity bracelets.
That's pretty cool.
And you know, we're trying to share the story of what we do and how we support the community.
That's terrific. And Jen, if you could tell me a little bit about any particular things you've been working on in the last couple of weeks or months, say.
Well, I guess this summer I was very involved in our Pride celebration, so I'm new to the Human Rights Commission, so that was really a lot of fun for me, and just to see the community come together. And a couple weeks ago I worked with you on writing a letter to Mystic Valley Regional Charter School regarding an incident that happened there. And here we are today celebrating with Melrose.
Terrific to have you. And Tesfaye, you are, I think, in a tie for the newest member of the commission. Really want to thank you for coming on board and sharing your perspective.
Thank you so much.
How do you like it so far?
So far, so good, Mr. Mayor. Good to see you again.
Oh, God, the pleasure is mine.
I haven't even attended the first meeting, so...
But it's coming soon, and that's important. And folks should know your meetings are open to the public. They're posted, so it's easy for folks to get involved.
And we have our first meeting since the summer break next Wednesday at 7 p.m. in person.
And where's that going to be?
Cassidy.
In the Cassidy Conference Room, which is the second floor at City Hall. So if you're interested in helping out, interested in making a difference, come down to the meeting and see how you can do that. So in the world of turnabout is fair play, I am delighted to have the opportunity to put on the spot our friends from Let's Talk Melrose Melrose. The format's a little different, but the game's the same. I'm here with Tom and Sam. What brings you to this fine community in this fine street here today?
So we received a special award at high noon by Julie Nolan at the MMTV stage over there, the big stage where the focal point is. That's where we were most of the day.
Not the focal point.
Receiving an award. Well, now the focal point is over here.
Moving.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Sam gave out free candy.
Would you like a dummy?
That's loaded.
Would you like 26,000 dummies?
She said dummy, not gummy.
No. Either way. Either way, I'm in trouble.
26,000.
Either way, I'm in trouble. So what is next? You guys always have something new going on.
Yes.
What's next?
Well, first I'm gonna get detached.
You're gonna hold the mic. Wait. You're going to hold the mic.
Yes. Hi. I was just getting ensnared by the balloon. So next week on the show, we have a guy named Wayne. He's going to be playing the organ at Memorial Hall for a Friends of Memorial Hall fundraiser. So get your tickets. I'm sure you have an entire table purchased already.
Talk to the gentleman who does the maintenance.
Excellent. So,
Give me the microphone back. Give me the microphone.
and then the week after, we have Melissa Landon on from the Worklery, who's building a business to help other businesses build themselves. So what else is going on that we need to have on?
Oh, gosh. So we've got a cultural festival coming up in October. We have the, what's that?
What cultural festival?
Stay tuned.
I believe it must be for Indigenous people. Okay, I nailed it. Nailed it.
There'll be some entertainment in particular. We are also doing Porch Fest, of course, coming up. And who knows what else is going to be coming up.
Do you have anybody famous coming to your porch this year?
Oh, God, I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. I was at the Red Hot Chili Peppers last night, so that's playing out. We'll see how that plays out. But we got a couple other gems.
Yes. Yeah, Boucher and the Brothers bringing the blues to Melrose at the Mayor's Yard, and it's going to be fantastic. A Porch Fest every year is a Melrose gem. It's a treasure. We've got the Victorian Fair. We've got the Summer Stroll. You started this year the Block Party. A lot of chance to get out and about and be with the people in Melrose. Jen LeClaire.
I don't like the look of that megaphone, sir.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
Enjoy my interview.
I'm sure. How's Wilbur?
How did your art summit go?
Well, it was pitch perfect. It was fantastic. We introduced creative Melrosians to a variety of funding sources that are available in Melrose, including the city's Messina Fund. The real great thing that happened, the real magic happened in that room afterwards when people got to share their creative projects and their creative ideas, both with the funders of Melrose, but also with each other. The number of collaborations and meetings and new conversations that started in that room yesterday was incredible. So that's the thing I'm most proud about that event. This is from, sorry, Mr. Mayor, the new Melrose Creative Alliance. So we're working to help artists.
Very excited to see that. Help grow the arts community, both in number of participants, diversity of participants, funding sources, the whole 9 yards. All right, keep up the good work, and we will see you on the 24th.
See you around town. Thanks.
Terrific.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, Melrose, I am here with perhaps the most famous, most well-visited booth here at the Victorian Fair. I believe put on by, at least what I think of as the oldest real estate brokerage here in Melrose, Brad Hutchinson Real Estate, and I'm here with the next generation superstar of the firm, Mark Hutchinson. Mark, how's it going today?
It's, you know what, Victorian Fair, I always say, my least favorite day of the year, but I'd never miss it.
Until you're here.
That's correct. Great day. Got lucky with the weather.
So, you are obviously, you live or die by how Melrose goes economically. What, in your opinion, sells Melrose?
I think right here. We probably have one of the best downtowns, very vibrant. You hardly ever see a for rent sign downtown here, which is a credit to the city government as well. So I think we just have one of the nicest downtowns around. So, and I think that's what kind of draws, as you can see.
No, that is terrific. And again, I know things are going well for you guys, as they always do. Folks should also understand that this firm does a ton of philanthropic work, a lot of support of things like the Melrose Symphony. They'll lend their van to anyone who needs to move anything. I've used it before to do food deliveries. Can't thank you guys enough for what you do in terms of bringing clients into the city, but the way you support us as well.
Happy to do it. Love to be here.
Part 2 of our political interviews. Always delighted to be able to talk to the folks that are civically engaged. I'm here at the Melrose Republican City Committee with the chair, Julie DeLillo. Julie, how's it going today?
It's going very well. We've had a lot of people stopping by.
So I thought I saw Anthony Mare coming by.
Mare, yep.
I have not. Is he still here?
He was walking down the street and then he had another event to go to.
We will do. That's the thing with this. You really gotta catch lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
That is for sure.
Yep.
So if you wanted to drive home one message today, what would it be?
Vote Republican.
Noted. And I will say this: there are a couple of terrific Republicans here.
Awesome.
This guy's all right. This guy's terrific.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens.
These guys are
And these guys,
wonderful.
obviously,
Come on, these
are
guys,
the class of the operation, no doubt.
The live ones.
And on to November and beyond.
Yes.
All right, thank
Yes,
you guys
thank
for what you do. We're back. We had an opportunity to interview Senator Lewis a little bit earlier, and his opponent in November is a gentleman who at this point needs no introduction because he's been out and about quite a bit. His name's Ed Dombrowski. Ed, what are you currently doing politically so folks have a little bit of sense of your background?
Sure. So, Paul, great to see you. A fantastic event today. I am currently a Wakefield Town Councilor, have been for the last 6 years. Prior to that, I spent 3 years on the Finance Committee. So I come to this race with 9 years of municipal experience.
And just so folks know, FinCom is a town thing. Few Melrosians, there's no such thing. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
What prompted you to jump into politics at a different level, at a partisan, not in a bad way, but at a partisan level?
Yeah, I think I saw the kind of impact you can make at the local level. And then in working with our delegation, I saw so many opportunities. And having been part of our delegation and serving us well, there's so many opportunities at the state level to be able to deliver back for our communities. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to be the voice for each of our neighborhoods across the 6 communities that I would be representing. I want to be able to advocate for us, and I want to have deliverables. So I can come back, on Beacon Hill, do all that I can to make sure that I can improve the lives of people in Melrose and every other community that I would be representing.
Great message. I see you've got some Melrose talent behind the booth here.
Indeed we do.
So that is terrific.
Yes.
That is terrific.
Now, Paul, would you like to play the Lucky Duck game?
I feel lucky, sure. All right, get in on this.
It's very simple. Just pick a duck and whatever number's on the bottom.
I'm taking the little duck, big dreams. Number 1.
Number 1.
Lucky number 1.
So you have a dog and a baby.
I get another duck.
There you are.
All right, well, I just adopted a dog, so now I have a duck to go with it.
Indeed.
All right, terrific. Ed, good to see you.
Paul.
We'll see you out on the trail, no doubt.
Thank you.
All right, take care. So we had a chance to visit with the Republican City Committee, and now we're here at the Democratic City Committee booth. Full disclosure, I am a member, but I am here in a totally nonpartisan capacity to say hello to Jim Bennett, the chair of the Melrose Dems. How's it going today, Jim?
Things are going delightfully, Mayor Brodeur. Not too much wind, so all of our stuff isn't blowing off the table, which is always good.
The things that you think of, right? The logistics. So I saw Diana DeZoglio today. Has anyone else swung by?
Not as of yet. We have our hopes, of course, that our future Governor Maura Healey will be here, as well as all of our other great Democratic candidates.
I do know that many invitations went out through many different ways, but of course, on both sides of the aisle, it's the sprint to the finish, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So, what message are you trying to get across today in terms of, we have a big election coming up in early November, but a lot of things that can be done before then. Impart your wisdom to the folks that want to get involved.
Sure. So I think the best way to get involved here in Melrose would be to join the Melrose Democratic City Committee. If you are a Dem, we are at melrosedems.org. You can sign up for our mailing list. We have all sorts of opportunities to get involved with local elections that are coming up next year. The state elections, of course, will be canvassing, going door to door, making phone calls. For the federal elections, we're going to get a group to head up to New Hampshire to knock on some doors there, write some postcards as well to Pennsylvania, perhaps. So much to be done before November, because we cannot allow Republicans to take control of the House and the Senate on the federal level, and we've got to get this dream team headed by Maura Healey into office here in Massachusetts.
Well said. So here's what I'm taking away from that is there's a million different ways to get involved.
Absolutely.
If you like standing outside, you can hold a sign. You don't like that, you can do phone calls. If you're not comfortable with that, you can do postcards. There's any different number of ways to get involved.
Absolutely, and everyone in this great country of ours that runs on this transparent democracy owes it to themselves to be active, to get involved, and there are so many ways to do it.
Here, Jim, thanks to all the crew here for doing their thing, and we will see you many times before November.
I hope so, Mayor. Great
All right.
to see you as always.
You bet. So, I think the one truism about the Victorian Fair is that it looks like it's easy to do. It looks like you just roll it out. But without the help of Melrose DPW, Melrose Fire, and in particular the Melrose Police Department, none of this happens. I'm here with Lieutenant Paul Norton. Paul, tell me how the Melrose Police contribute to making this a safe, secure, and fun event?
Starting about a week ago, we came up with a plan, how we were going to block off the streets with the cones and the horses, and then we decided how many people we were going to have to work the Victorian Fair. We have people in uniform, we have people in plain clothes, and we have our full staff working the day shift. So yeah, we're ready.
And one thing that's terrific about this is it's a real opportunity for the residents, folks from out of town, to connect with the police department, get to know like the human face of the police department. Like it's about a lot more than just law enforcement, right?
This is community policing in its truest form. We are walking all down here. We're saying hi to everybody. Everyone's saying hi to us. They're getting to meet us. We're throwing our cards out, and they're really happy to meet us.
Just stay away from the dunk tank.
Yes, I've done that. A couple years ago, I was actually in the dunk tank a lot.
What don't you do? That is awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you do for the city.
Thank you. Have a great day.
So the hardest working elected officials in Melrose, throughout Massachusetts, probably throughout the country, are the school committee members. It's long hours, it's complicated issues. I'm not sure folks know that they don't get paid. I'm a member, I obviously get a salary, but here with two of my terrific friends and colleagues, Dorothy Withy and Margaret Driscoll, and we've got like kind of the eminent, the most experienced, and I think the newest, probably doesn't feel like it. How's it going today? What are you doing?
It's going great today. It is such a privilege and a pleasure to see families, to see kids, to learn about which schools the kids are going to. Everybody is happy to be out. We see a lot of smiling faces, a lot of kids who want pencils, Melrose Public School pencils, and we're here. The swag. Absolutely. And they just, they're off to school, and kids and parents seem to be equally excited about that.
I totally get that. So, Dory, new member, real folks, significant background in education, but then there's, oh my God, here I'm doing it. What's the biggest surprise that you've seen since you came on board the school committee? The thing maybe you didn't expect that you'd be getting involved in?
It's a great question. I think the thing I've been most surprised with or just struck by is actually sitting at the school committee table versus oftentimes being on the other side presenting to school committee members. It's been a terrific experience. I'm so thankful that I've been elected into the position, and I'm really excited for the next 3.5 years.
We are glad to have you, and let's do it all again on Tuesday. So, it really wouldn't be the Victorian Fair if there wasn't some Victorian mixed in. And I'm here with Hannah, who's dressed in, and you correct me if I'm wrong, period garb. Yep. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what this is all about.
Yeah, so this is late 1870s. They called this the natural form era. They started with bustles, then they decided they didn't really like it, got rid of it, and then brought it back. So I'm in between the bustles. My father lives in Melrose and has for a while, and I would come with him to the Victorian Fair, and I was always a little bit expecting there to be Victorian things at the Victorian Fair. And I costume. This is my big hobby. I sell computer software as my 9 to 5. So this is this is just my hobby.
Little new school, old school.
Yeah. And I went to school for biology. So this is my hobby, and I thought, maybe I can actually bring some Victorian to the Victorian Fair.
No, that's awesome. It's delightful.
So I reached out to the Chamber of Commerce and I said, hey, can I run a booth? Just an educational booth, and so that's what we're doing, just on life and the time, clothes.
So glad you're doing it, really. This is awesome. A gentleman earlier, new to Melrose, just asked me about that. He said, this is a lovely thing, but where's the Victorian?
Yeah.
And I honestly, I gave him a different answer because I didn't know you were down here. So this is wonderful. Question, how comfortable is it?
Really, I know it looks, people are always like, well, it must be uncomfortable.
That's what I'm
right?
asking,
Right. So I am in a steel bone corset, but
that does sound like a torture device. You understand?
You know how a lot of people like weighted blankets? It's kind of like wearing one. It's like when someone gives you a good bear hug. It's kind of like wearing that. A corset that fits you is flexible and supportive. they didn't have their lifestyles that they led were very physically active, much more so than ours are. And so you needed something that was going to support your back. And they actually believed that if you didn't have something to support your spine, that you would just end up a hunchback. So you needed something external to support your spine, was what they believed. Men wore them as well. If you look at paintings of Victorian men, they're very small-waisted. It was not natural. It's a corset. The other question I get asked is it hot to wear all of this? And it's a warm day, so I'm warm.
I have no doubt.
But we are kind of accustomed to synthetic fibers and synthetic mixed fibers, polyester, which is plastic-based, and it doesn't breathe. This outfit in particular is pure silk, and this one is wool, both of which moisture wick and pull the sweat right away from your skin, and it has a cooling effect. So yes, I'm warm, but I'm not crazy hot, and I actually really love wearing the corset. So it's very supportive and comfortable.
That is terrific. I hope you'll come back year after year because this is awesome. It's delightful.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to keep coming back. I really have a great time doing it.
Well, Hannah, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Hope to see you next year.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. I want to say last but not least, but this could open whatever it is they put together. This event pulls together in like a day. It's super easy, and then Steph just takes the glory. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Honest to God, the planning for this starts probably tonight, right? For next year's, your first one or your second one?
My first one.
Your first one, I tell you what, outstanding. Outstanding. Everyone's having a ball. Great turnout, great weather. How's it going? How do you feel?
You know, right now I am thrilled to death. It was an unbelievable team effort this morning, getting all the tents. We have 160 vendors, 20 sponsors, over 20 acts at center stage. The street's packed, happy vendors. It's fantastic. I'm so thrilled.
And I don't remember, this is going to be a little bit of a silly thing to say, I don't remember there ever being porta potties here before.
That's new this year.
That is huge.
Thank you.
That is huge.
We were feeling like it was putting a lot of pressure on our businesses, right? You know, you hope that they'll patronize the business if they're using the restroom, but we figured we've got four porta potties in each one of the corners, and I think people are happy.
People, I tell you what,
Not that people are really happy about a porta potty, but you know what I mean.
But
having the option.
Nothing but smiles here today. It's graying up a little. It's not affecting anyone.
I have been serial checking my weather, and it does seem like it could just be 1 to 2, but then let's hope it's just a sprinkle because it's going.
It cools people off.
Yeah.
It never rains in a bad way at this event.
Right? It can't.
And I attribute that to you.
Yeah.
You want to know.
Oh, right, yeah. I have a lot of pull with the weather. But it's a great event, and thank you for all your support.
Oh, God, thank
We're
you
so
for the
psyched.
support that you give the city and your members in particular.
Thank you.
It's outstanding, and we're looking forward to bigger and better as things roll along.
We got a lot of exciting stuff happening at the Chamber, and we're really excited. We've got 43 new members this year.
Amazing.
And really excited, so thank you.
So we will see you at Halloween, and then
home for the
then home for the holidays,
You
and
got
then into 2023.
That's right. That'll be my second year.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Terrific.
Thanks, Mayor. I appreciate it.
You bet.